We're here for day one of the ALR Nations Cup in Lobby A, which is a wet to dry race in Spa-Francorchamps with the Alfa Romeo 4C car. The starting grid for Lobby A will be on your left right now, with a top five of Alex, BR4, Iggy, Trap, and Staber, the debutant. On the rundown to turn one, we see BR4 head for the inside line before Leper outbrakes himself, causing a little bit of contact there, moving up to P2, but I'm sure he will lose those positions later on. Apart from that, it's a very clean run round turn one here. You can see a massive gaggle of cars all fighting over the same little bit of track. It's very important in the wet conditions to try stay behind cars because that will actually help your grip. And the run down to Eau Rouge, we see 2x2 almost 4 wide as the cars come through Eau Rouge, and 2x2 further back. Leper actually loses a couple of positions here, going a little bit wide for Eau Rouge, and the BD going super wide there, getting a bit of the AstroTurf. On the run down to Les Combes, Leper's dropped to P5 and Iggy outbrakes himself into the chicane here, losing a position to Trap, dropping him down to P3. He'll be trying to defend from BR4, his old rival, and it looks like he will be able to keep P3 there. Further back, we see Staber battling with Leper in his debut race. He gets a really nice exit in Sector 2, move him back into P5, the position where he started. Later into the lap, you can see there's contact between the old rivals BR4 and Iggy. BR4 showing some great sportsmanship here to wait up for his competitor. They both dropped down to the lower points paying positions. Unfortunately, BR4 not really slowing down in the greatest position there. But yeah, dropping back to about P8, both of them. Further up ahead, we see these conditions are incredibly tricky with a few cars going wide and Leper actually losing it there. He'll be dropping way down, HCC Pyro up to P4 from his starting position of P9, which has been a great first lap for him. Actually up to P3 now as Staber outbrakes himself, obviously not quite used to these conditions or the car. The whole grid still very, very close together, bar the Baltics driver, Staber, and Leper, who have both had little crashes. At Les Combes yet again for the second lap, we see LD Kang going for the outside line around its BD. Can he get the move done? Some very good driving from the two of them here, leaving each other space. Doesn't look like LD Kang's going to do it, but can he go for a switch back now into this corner here as they approach Sector 2, coming down to the hairpin? It looks like LD Kang might be able to get the move done. He does. He's up alongside. Can he keep it nice and steady on the brakes? It looks like he his braking spot perfectly there. Is BD a little bit out wide, which will make him lose one, maybe two positions here. Here we have Iggy continuing his recovery drive as he looks down the inside of LD Kang getting the move done. It looks like BR4 might be making a move on its BD further back, but yeah, Iggy all the way up to P4 now. Obviously, we saw him drop down to P8 earlier on after the contact with BR4. LD Kang actually proceeded to lose a position to BR4 one corner later as he gets a little bit squirrely on the entrance into the chicane. As we begin lap 3, we see an engineered move here from the Austrian team as HCC Pyro lets his teammate go. He'll be trying to hold up BR4 to give his teammate some breathing room, but unfortunately towards the end of that lap he gets very squirrely on the entrance to the bus stop chicane and loses the position to BR4, but he will be looking for a switchback here if he can get good traction out of the chicane. Looks like he's done it. He pulls alongside to the left, looking around the outside into turn 1, La Source hairpin. Can he brake late enough? In the wet, you can tend to go for the really late apex and you will get a better exit. Obviously, you can get the power down sooner. It looks like that's worth a treat here for Pyro. Unfortunately, that would only keep the Scandinavian driver behind him for one more corner, as at the end of the Kemmel straight, it is BR4 that pulls to the outside. We're trying to outbrake Pyro, but Pyro goes for a really late braking move there to try and defend the position, but no, BR4 up to P4 and he'll be on to charge up towards Iggy, who was pressuring his teammate at this point in the stage. Crap getting a little bit wide there, really easy to do on the exit of Blanchimont, and Iggy is up to P2 to chase after Alex. On to lap 7 now, you can see the conditions are drying up. There's a little bit of a dry line starting to form, but if you do go off it, it's still treacherous. As you can see, Pyro losing the position there. On to lap 7, and the top 4 have really closed up here, probably separated by around 3 seconds, with BR4 setting the fastest lap on the previous lap, a 2-minute 51 lap, as Andrew goes very wide there, and he's going to lose a position to his teammate there, trapped down to P4, but the chase is on for the leader, Alex. Further back, we see JC Race 80 and Pex DJ. We haven't seen much of these guys, but they were having a fantastic battle for lap on lap. JC finally getting past the Vulcan driver. Coming into the end of lap 7, we go back to the battle for the lead. Iggy going for a late move down the inside of Alex, and it looks like Mate's gone into the pits there. Bit of a dodgy move to go into the pits in front of Iggy there. You probably would have expected some kind of clue that he was going in. But next lap, at the end of lap 8, everybody else coming into the pits here. You can see Iggy, BR4, Pyro, LD King, Trap actually staying out here. We'll see where these guys come out in relation to Mate, Alex. You can see Alex back there. BR4 is out ahead of Alex, which means Iggy is all the way up the road. You can just see him going off the screen there. Leper and Pex DJ battling like crazy here, both still on the wet tyres, so BR4 will have to stick to this dry line. It's going to be very difficult for him to get past these two, as they can use whatever bit of track they like. Pex DJ with a really nice Eau Rouge there. BR4 going, yeah, just touching the curb, and off he goes, and round he goes, spinning with a spectacular crash there. Just a few seconds later, we see Mate Alex sizing up a move on Leper 32, the rest of the world driver, as he gets the move done there. Coming down to the hairpin, he's also sizing up his teammate, as it looks like the soft tyres are becoming much quicker than these intermediates and wets that the drivers who haven't pitted yet. Looks like there might have been a little bit of a nudge between teammates. I'm not sure if you'll see some words after the race between these two, but Mate Alex moves himself up to P3, net P2 as Trap hasn't pitted yet. We'll see where he comes out later on. Leper is going to follow Mate through, going round the outside of Pex DJ as Mate goes off. Literally one corner after he got the double move done, he outbreaks himself into P1 and loses a heap of time. HGT Pyro now going for the move on Pex DJ, manages to stick to the dry line, which should mean he'll get the move done, but no, some late braking from Pex on those wet tyres, able to use the wet section of the track. And we've got yellow flags out now, so Pyro won't be able to go for the move now. You see he's having to hang back to not get the penalty, and it is Trap who's moving slowly. He must have pitted now to come out in P2 behind Iggy. Pex going very wide there, very ambitious, trying to outbrake everyone into the wet conditions, and he actually loses position there to Pyro, who's right on the back of Trap now. It'll be interesting to see what happens here in this battle. Scandinavia and Austria, probably the two favourites in this lobby, although the Balkans are putting on a really good performance. BR4 on the back of Mate, he just gets inside him there and he'll be able to get that move down to P1, just needs to take it easy into this braking zone. Moving on to lap 13 and the latter stages of the race now, you see Trap has made a little mistake here, got off the dry line onto the wet stuff, and he loses his position to his teammate, as you guys saw the live standings there of the lobby. The next lap we see a battle between Mate and Trap continue. These guys were at it from here to the end of the race. You see Mate takes P3 here, you can see here they are battling side by side in the bus stop, and they continue battling. I think Andres dives to the inside, it looks like he just gets the part alongside as Mate goes slightly wide, and Trap will move himself up to P3 with a lap to go. And that was how the race finished in Lobby A. Iggy came home to take a victory in day 1 of the Nations Cup, as many of you guys would have expected, followed by BR4 in P2. The Scandinavian driver Trap came home in P3 with Mate Alex in P4 and Pyro in P5. The final race results will be up on your screen right now, so you can see where everyone came in Lobby A, and we'll take a look at the championship table so far of the Nations Cup. Obviously only Lobby A has been completed so far, so you guys won't see the results of Lobby B or C so far, but that does put Scandinavia on top, 1 point ahead of Austria.